Danny, you mentioned that another area that you're seeing a lot of activity in the legal space is compliance. Tell me more about that.
Compliance broadly means paying the right amount of money. And we've got in Australia a very complex range of instruments that employers need to be aware of. And the nuance in each of these instruments is tricky. So when we're talking about compliance, there's the upfront work of making sure that you identify the correct instrument, and for each individual employee, the correct terms within that instrument, and you're setting up your systems well. If you've got great software, that really helps because you can plug in those details and then the hard work's done for you. But establishing it properly in the first place is mission critical for compliance. What I'm seeing is what everybody is seeing in the newspapers. We've got very big brands, our blue chip companies, that are disclosing to us and reporting to the Ombudsman that they have got this wrong. And it might be at the setup stage. More often, it's as time goes on that issues in either the accrual of leave or the treatment of leave that's being taken, that's got an error in it that then is replicated to more people and then more people, and then all of a sudden it's a company-wide issue and no one picks it up for a long time until someone does and they think, oh, I think this might be an issue, but this is how it's always been done. This is how I was trained to do it. And is it really an issue? Do we have to do anything about it? So that's one example. Another one would be failure to keep up with the increases in the minimum entitlements because of a false sense of security that comes with having a salary. Even when you have professional staff who are paid a salary, if there's an instrument that applies to that relationship, then the underlying calculations that salary is based on are going to increase in expense over time. We've just had a record increase of our minimum wage, and the salaries that are being paid in all organisations should be reflected on to make sure that there's not an inadvertent underpayment of entitlements arising as a result of just continuing on the status quo. A really good thing to do, just as a baseline, is to increase everybody's wage by the same percentage as the increase in the minimum wage, just as a baseline fail-safe, that at least you've done that to stay ahead of these increases. But nothing replaces the obligation to pay proper attention to what it is you are required to pay and reflecting on whether you've done that properly. So now's the time to call in your HR provider to come in and double check what you've done. Do an audit, take the time, spend the money, work it out. Because if you don't, then you have to call your lawyer to come in and help you get out of big trouble.
Excellent. Thank you, Danny. That's great.